Welcome back. Episode number 5. This is Pod Deep on Sports. Got myself, Hughes, Jared, the notorious OD, said we in the house. This episode is strictly about the boxing recap. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Let's kick this off with a deep thought question. What you got said?
All right, let's do a quick deep thought. Okay, you lose your job. You lost your job. You and your spouse is struggling. Hard times. You're hitting hard times. It's been about 7 months you haven't had a job. Your wife gets what we should call an indecent proposal. Surprisingly, she's kind of open to it. Question for the boys is, at what amount do you at least got to have the conversation? At what amount do you at least have to have, not saying if anything go down, but what amount you at least got to have a conversation about it?
About her doing it or not doing it?
About her doing it, about her actually going through with it. Just to recap, struggling. Y'all been kicking it for a while. Surprisingly, your wife is with this indecent proposal. But the question for the gang is, what is the dollar amount that you at least got to talk about it?
For me, I'd say probably $2 million.
$2 million, and Jared, we got some discussion going on.
Yeah, let's talk about it at $2 million.
Okay. What about you, Rod?
I'm somewhere 10, probably about 10 million.
10 mil.
Yeah.
What about you, Yus?
See, my demeanor didn't change. Shit. Yeah, that 10 million, man. That's, I'm looking at the door. That's 5 her way, 5 my way,
Yeah, basically, because, we're going to be done.
Yeah.
As it is anyway.
Yeah.
So if we're going to be done, I want to be in a situation where I got some, I can't live off of that for the rest of my life, but that's life altering, to get $5 million in your bank account.
Oh, so, yeah.
And we talking tax-free money, right? We talking
tax-free money, all to you, all to y'all.
Yeah. We split that.
10?
I fuck around, get so mad, take the whole motherfucker 10. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
So I was thinking, just to start talking, I was thinking 2 mil myself, just to start talking. So I'm with Jared. But let's flip this real quick. It's a quick question, so let's flip it. What about you? If it was your indecent proposal, where would that start for y'all? Where would that start for you?
Shit, depending on
what do you mean?
Talking.
Like somebody.
So it's you. So it's you that's going. That's the person is after. The woman is after. And and of course, you're saying, okay, we could do it. She's saying, okay, do it. Where would your number start? Now, is it a big difference or what?
Shit, it depends on what she look like.
This motherfucker said now Lathan. Shit.
Yeah, if it's not Lathan shit, $10. I'm
Jared, what's your the tables turn? What's it gonna take for you?
Re-explain that to me. What's happening?
So we just had this scenario where your wife is, somebody proposes to her. Now the shoe's on the other foot. Somebody wants you, and you got to figure out, at what price would it take for you to do it?
I'll stick with that 2 million.
2 mil?
To start talking, 2 million. Yeah.
What about you, Sam?
No, I already said it depends on the woman.
Just say average looking woman, average, nothing special. Average looking woman.
So we're talking about me. Shit. 500,000 shit. For me. Shit. Yeah, the price of the brick goes down when it's me. When it's her, yeah, that price you gotta go up. But for me, shit, I do it at $500,000.
What about you, Squeak?
Yeah, if Upper coming this way, I'm gonna have to tax her. I'm gonna keep that 10 million. Same scenario. Split down the middle, 5 for my baby girl, 5 for me. Or I might be greedy. I might take 7, leave her with 3. You know what I'm saying? I put the most work in, so
So you're not having that so what you're saying is if Oprah offers you 3 million, you're not taking it.
Yeah,
you're gonna hold out for 10.
Oprah got $1 billion. I'm trying my best.
Well, no, let's take Oprah out of it. It's whoever. Like say. It was just an average chick, nothing too special. So you ain't gonna move until she dropped 10 million.
I want the number to be high.
Not your wife, but you ain't fucking for less than 10 million. That's what you're telling me.
I want the number to be high because I know what the end result's gonna be. I know I got a motherfucker that's gonna take half from me. So I got to be able to give me a nice little chunk that I can have.
Why is she taking half?
Because when she find out, motherfucker, it ain't gonna be no.
She with it though.
She knows.
She like, go and do it.
Yeah, she knows.
She's struggling. We rock bottom.
Ah, shit.
So it ain't no, I just know for me, if the shoe's on the other foot, our shit's pretty much over with at that point. But when you flip the scenario, your wife might be like, fuck it, go ahead and do it, nigga.
I know we struggling, but man, like, god damn, like that'll take my number down on the, you know what I'm saying? Like a little Hollywood chick versus Oprah, like I said. You know what I'm saying? On the low, you might get me for 3, but if it's Oprah, I'm gonna stay fast.
No, quit flipping it. What he said, just an average chick, nothing too special.
What will it take?
Yeah, I'm an expensive kind of cat, man. I'm gonna have to dig deep into the account, write me a nice little check. I'm standing on mine.
My number is low as fuck.
We struggling, and if I get that proposal, I mean, 250. You know what I'm saying? I throw myself out there. You know what I'm saying?
You've been out of work for 7 months.
Yeah, shit, we struggling.
Shit. If she offered 20,000, I'm like, well, fuck it. We gonna be good for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So, but I think what Rodney getting at is, how is that gonna be good? Will that last? Well, you done crept off and done that. You gonna be able to come back and sleep in that same house for real? You know what I'm saying?
Get poked in your back like you in the penitentiary.
All right, y'all. That's the question of the day.
All right, that was a good one. That was a good one. So let's move forward. We're gonna recap what happened April 22nd, the big fight that took place in Las Vegas between Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Everybody saw the fight, so I'm gonna go around and get your perspective on the fight and what you thought. Let me start with you, said. What did you think about the fight overall?
I thought it was one of them fights I kind of got excited for. Butterflies. I thought it was gonna be, it was a good atmosphere, great atmosphere. I thought Ryan, when he came in, I just didn't think he looked the part. He looked like he was like dehydrated. He didn't look right. Like he was goddamn starved or something. Like it just, to me, he just didn't look right. As far as the fight, it was immediately, you could see that Tank was the better fighter.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, it was just child's play. Once he got in there, and you could tell Ryan was kind of overmatched, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Tank don't throw a lot of punches, but when he threw through him, he looking to hurt you bad. So, over all in all, it was a good fight. I commend Ryan; he took it, but he clearly is a different. To me, it looks like he's a different class fighter than Tank.
Yeah, that's fine. What about you, Jared? What was your take on the fight?
Before the fight, I was excited. Then I had to catch myself, and I've been duped so many times by boxing. So, for the record, if anybody wants to go back a couple episodes, I said I'm not really commenting or really getting excited about this fight until it's over, because it's been too many times where they find some Mexican fighter to go against the black fighter who can talk and sell the fight, who is really shouldn't be in the ring with the black fighter. So it's a lot of hype. So to me, that's kind of what this fight turned out to be, just a lot of hype. Ryan Garcia was not ready to fight Tank. If we're going to get into it, can we talk about the dehydration part now, or you want to wait?
Just wait. We'll put that second. Just want to get your take.
The fight itself, a lot of hype. I was excited about it. I can't lie about that, but it just turned out to be just hype, just a one-sided fight.
What about you, Ryan? What was your take on the fight?
I wasn't excited about it. It was good that for the sport that they got a marquee matchup that brought people out.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as just being excited for the fight, I wasn't. I didn't know too much about Ryan, and I seen Tank, but I wouldn't say I was the biggest supporter.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't have those butterflies. This actually is not the fight that I want to see. I want to see the Lomachenko Devin Haney fight.
Okay, that's coming up.
For me, that's a better fight for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one I'm looking forward to. But for this one, it kind of was just, I think it was what it was. It was two big names going at it, and the clearly better fighter won.
Yeah. So I was excited about the fight. I got my butterflies the day of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Ryan looked very good to me in that first round. Even the beginning in the middle of the second round. I didn't see much from Tank. Tank was giving him good footwork, but he really wasn't throwing punches. But then as I rewatched the fight again, I saw what Tank was really doing. He was too slick for Ryan from what I saw, but when I was watching it live, I thought I had Ryan winning most of those rounds. But when I rewatched it and heard the commentary behind it and stuff like that, I didn't see Ryan receiving good information. And Tank was really kind of winning just using his boxing IQ. I thought it was a good atmosphere. It was a lot of celebrities there. I think if they would have had this fight probably in about the later half of June, they would have got more celebrities because they was really competing with the NBA, you know what I'm saying, in different cities and stuff like that. They had a real good turnout, it was being shown on Showtime and the Zone and stuff like that. So I had a real good experience watching and stuff, So I'm looking forward, like you mentioned, right? I'm looking forward to the Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight, that's coming up this month, you know what I'm saying? So overall, I thought it was a good card. Ryan showed a lot of heart. At some point, I think he took his L like a man, you know what I'm saying? But we're finna get into the next topic. So the next topic about this same fight is about the rehydration clause. What you about to say, Sid?
So sorry, before you go on, the one thing that fight did bring out, it looked, it had that big time fight atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
When you start to see the crowd, you see the famous people, they brought that out. So it felt like one of those old school great boxing matches.
That's true. And I wish they would have put together a better fight card.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only person undercard that I kind of recognized or knew was the David Morrell Jr. type of guy. And hell, he knocked this guy out in the first round, you know what I'm saying? But besides that, it really was not a good boxing card, But what I did like and recognize that there were a lot of fighters, old and present, in attendance there. And that's a good sign, you know, as a current fighter, that other fighters are in the arena watching you. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a good sign. So let's go to this next topic about, you know, do you like fight rehydration? So in boxing, they have rehydration clause that they can add. It's not mandatory, you know, it's just that it's a tactic that the A-side fighter, the money guy, will do. And I want to get you guys' opinion on how you guys feel about, you know, catch weights, rehydration clause, you know what I'm saying? And if you feel like it's fair, if you feel like, hey, it's, you know, it's a disadvantage to the fighter. I'm gonna start with you, Jared, since you know you have an issue with this.
I wish you would have put me last.
Okay, you want to go last?
I don't want to influence. Go. I don't want to. Yeah, let me go.
Let me go what you said. What's your thoughts on rehydration clause?
So I guess I wanted to hear a little bit more about what you guys think about it. But to me, it seems like, you know, I'm old school. You got to the weight at the weigh-in. That's it. I mean, shit. It is what it is. I mean, I get it. A motherfucker can blow up. What was like a 48 hours before the actual fight, or 20? Is it 24 or 48 hours before? Is it a certain time?
Yeah, it's 20. Like so, if they doing the weight, they did the weigh-in on Friday at 6. They had to do the rehydration at 12 p.m. the next day.
Okay, so
and they couldn't go.
They weigh them at 12 p.m. the next day to see how big they gotten.
Yeah, they couldn't get over a certain pound. I think it was over.
Gotcha.
10 pounds from what they were at.
So I'm old school in my thought, man. If you cut that weight to get to that weight and you at weigh in, you good. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I think I think it's a scary tactic for the littler guy, or the guy who, you know, the champion usually, because you say that's who usually have it. But I disagree. I would not fight with a rehydration clause if I was any fighter. I'm like, damn, I got down to your weight. You know, we fighting at the weight you want to fight. I mean, I got there. Damn, let my body recoup for this next 12, 13 hours. You know what I'm saying? And let's just box. So, but I get it. And I understand why it's in place, but I'm against it.
Okay. What about you, Rod? You think it's a disadvantage? You think it's an advantage? You think it's fair? Not fair?
I don't think it's fair for a guy, if we're fighting at 154 or 147, and this guy comes in at 170, and I'm, you know, my natural weight, you know, I don't get no bigger than 150, you know, 155 or something like that. So I don't. So that's not a So if we fighting at welterweight, which is 147, and he comes in the ring at 165, 170, this ain't a welterweight. Oh, this ain't a welterweight fight no more. That's a fucking middleweight fight, or you know, super middleweight fight. So
can it be that drastic? Can it be that drastic? 30 pounds?
Without no catch weight clause, they can blow up to whatever their body allowed them to.
You think they can do that though in the short time that is the fight turnaround?
That's what Canelo does. That's what a lot of fighters do. A lot
Canelo,
of them Canelo
when he fought Floyd, that was at 154. Canelo was in that ring at 170.
Okay.
So Floyd had a catch weight on him. Floyd put a catch weight on him.
So it was like 155, 152.
Yeah, 152.
Yeah, but Floyd went into that fight probably weighing 150.
Okay. So just so I can have the order of operations, they weigh in at 152. They got to be at 152, but there was no rehydration clause on the Floyd fight, so he can come in whatever.
Right.
Okay. All right, I got you.
So to me, it's I mean, I guess you can look. It goes both ways. Like you don't do it unless you have if I don't, you know, if let's say I'm going down to 154. But maybe I don't really carry that weight well, so yeah, I'm not gonna blow up. Yeah, I think you only will blow up if you feel it's an advantage. So to me, if it's a welterweight fight, you shouldn't be in there at a super middleweight or at a super middleweight weight. You should be, within the standards of the welterweight. So, yeah, that's my take.
I go next. I feel like, to me, as a professional athlete, when you implement a catch weight clause. As long as you have a nutritionist with you, you can make that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the rehydration clause, you can do the exact same thing. You know what you're trying to do is do the even playing field, because once you 147, and let's say you may blow up 10 pounds, which makes you now 157, but the guy you fighting is coming in at 175. Chances are you won't have enough behind you to put that person down. That's bigger than you, because the way they blow up. You know what I'm saying? So trainers around, when you're not at your fighting weight and you walking around and you at different events, people see you. They know damn well that you ain't walking around at 147. You ain't walking around 150. You damn near 180, 190. But you shrink yourself all the way down to fight at the 147. That's probably one of the reasons why you hit so hard and haven't never been knocked down, because you're bigger than everybody. So real intelligent trainers and promoters, what they do is they get at your ass. They see you out drinking, and they know that you're going to have a hard ass time shaking that damn weight. But how you get around it is you get you a nutritionist that's going to tell you to cut this out during your training camp. Once we on the same level, on the same weight level, you know, if whatever your rehydration clause is, and you get past that point, everything is for a game at that point. You know, when I look at the Tank and Ryan situation, they was only difference between it was 8 pounds. Ryan was 144.9, Tank was 144.1. So after 12, Ryan can drink whatever he want and he can go in. When I looked at that fight, he didn't lose that fight to me over no rehydration. It was his IQ. It was his lack of talent, his lack of preparation, not fighting the right type of guys that would lead him up to fight a guy like Tank, like a guy like Isaac Cruz, who Gervonta went against. That would have been a good matchup for Ryan to test himself. But instead, him and De La Hoya and them, they chose to do these cherry picking guys and then throw him in there with a beast. He got exposed, but he made a good showing for himself. He's 24 years old. He's a damn multimillionaire. You're not gonna have nobody that's young making that amount of money put their life on the line. What you say, Jared? I go to the next question I got after this.
So before you go to Jared, so what? I'm trying to get your stance on this. So
my stance, I feel like it's fair. I feel like it's no disadvantage or advantage if you implement a catch weight or a rehydration clause.
Okay. I feel the opposite. The only reason they instituted that rehydration clause is because Ryan was underskilled, so they had that advantage on their side. He wasn't in the same class as Tank. They drained him, so now they have another notch, you know, in Tank's favor. What else? They had a spy watching him in camp. They admitted to that, so now they have another advantage. Press conferences. Tank will make them wait 2 hours, you know, messing with them mentally, just hanging around the press conference when they can just do the press conference and get back to training or resting. So now you have at least four that we know about advantages over this underskilled guy. They didn't, in my opinion, institute that rehydration clause to make it even weight-wise. They just needed another advantage. They needed to drain him a little more to make him easier to beat. So, you know, I don't agree with that. If I'm with Cedric, if you make weight, if this is the way you make weight, then, you know, if I come in 10 pounds heavier than you, then you have to use your skill to beat that. If I'm a heavier puncher than you, you have to use your footwork, your jab, your head movement to equalize, you know, my advantage. So I like the thought, you know, what you bring to the fight is what you bring to the fight, and it's up to the other person to neutralize, you know, your skills. So I don't really like that. And going back to Canelo and Floyd, that them fighting at 152, it was no, I don't, you know, I take you guys' word, no rehydration clause, but to me, it seems like Floyd just drained him up front by making him make 152, you know, at the beginning. So it's no rehydration clause on the back end, but you kind of drain him because he's the bigger man. You make him come down, you know, and weight up front. So you drain him up, you still drain him, which is okay because Canelo is bigger than him. You know, you have to do something, you know, when somebody is that much bigger than you.
Hey, Jared, I agree. Now, and that's what I agree with. Catch weight is different than rehydration to me. catch weight is an agreement to fight at a weight. So let's fight at that weight. I just don't think. I don't think. And y'all watch way more fights than me. But how good can somebody feel if they cut all this weight to get down to this number? And then in a day they put on, water or whatever. They put on additional 15 pounds. I don't think it's like
it's not healthy.
It's not healthy. I think you're in worse shape coming into a fight if you've done that to yourself. Versus, that's what I think.
Cutting weight a day. Excuse me. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna give you back the floor. But cutting weight 24 hours before a fight is not healthy. Cutting weight at all is not healthy. You lose fluid on your brain, which makes you easier to get knocked out. Your body is drained. You're tired. They made him cut weight until noon the day before the fight. That's just not healthy.
Yeah. But you both the fighters did that
the day of the fight.
Huh?
They made him cut. I'm sorry, they made him cut weight until noon the day of the fight.
But they both did that, Jared. Not just one person. They both did that.
And Tank is clearly more skilled than him. He's more skilled. Tank has the clear advantage because he's more skilled than him. So let's say Tank is drained a little too, but he's way better than Ryan. You know what I'm saying? His skill level is up here. Ryan is down here. Okay, Tank cuts weight. He comes down here. Ryan cuts weight. He comes down here. He's still, notches above Ryan to me.
I think what made the fight interesting is that on paper, Ryan had faster hands and he has a quick left hook that no one knew if Tank could avoid or capitalize off of. But inside the ring, Tank was faster than him. He was quicker than him. And he hit harder than he did. Mm-hmm. But on paper, you didn't see any of that. Ryan's taller than Tank and he's bigger than Tank. And he got the longer reach. But he was standing closer. Tank couldn't even land the jab. So.
But I'm with Jared again, but that's all of the reason that leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? Just why you got to go through why you have to make them jump through all these hoops. I'm with Jared on this
because it's a mind game.
The person doing that? How do you even look at them and say they're good when they're playing all these games?
Because
they're not fighting straight up.
Nah, they're not fighting, and then. In the paid boxing, they never fight straight up. Everything is a mind game. And that's the one thing that you have to do in boxing besides use your hand. You have to use your mind. You have to lock your mind. You can't let nobody get in your head. That's exactly what professional boxing, majority of it is about letting somebody get in your head. Once somebody get in your head, they're going to kick your ass in that ring because the first thing you're going to say is, I'm too weak. If you look at that fight, Ryan didn't gas out. He wasn't so frail that he couldn't hold himself up. Like when Roy lost all that weight when he fought Antonio Tarver, he was on his last little legs, you know what I'm saying? But he made it through 12 rounds. Ryan actually looked good until he got countered. You know what I'm saying? He got countered from his left hand. He got countered from his right hand. He was mentally defeated. Like when you get what you negotiate. And what I didn't like about Ryan is that he leaked that to the public. Of using that as an excuse. So he came into the ring with an excuse. Are they weight draining me? You get what you negotiate. You didn't have to sign that fight. You weren't pressed to take that fight. This is what you wanted. You get what you negotiate. Your promoter is a former fighter. So he knows better. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that Ryan's not naive. He just really believed in himself. Sometimes the catch weight and the rehydration can work against you. When John Louise fought Roy Jones Jr. and Roy Jones had never been a heavyweight, he thought he was too big for Roy. Roy beat his ass all 12 rounds. He couldn't do nothing with Roy. Roy had power. He rocked him, and he was quicker than him. Sometimes it backfires against you. It backfired against Oscar when he brought Floyd up to 154. Floyd had never fought at no 154. He didn't even try to make 154. He came in at 149 and beat Oscar ass. It don't always go in your favor, even though you're the A side. It don't always work in your favor, So you do what you can do to get in a person's head, but it's not going to always work because these dudes, they are professionals. This is what they do. So that little amount of weight that they're doing in the 12-hour or 24-hour period, it's not going to make a difference. It's not like they fight at 130 and they have to meet that pound at 12. You know what I'm saying? They get all that time to put the necessary fluids back into their body This is what they do when they training. You know what I'm saying? When they sparring with somebody to be in that catch weight phrase, they hitting hard and they ate all day. So if it's too much for them, a lot of them will pass out when they're trying to do the weigh-in and stuff like that. A lot of them have passed out in the steam rooms and sauna and stuff like that. I didn't like Ryan for putting that out there, as a fight friend. I didn't like him for putting that out there because that's just, for me, I look at that as an excuse. But that's my view on that, though. I look forward to seeing the next fight with Devin Haney and Lomachenko and stuff.
Why? Yeah, I know y'all both mentioned that it's a better fight. Why? Because it's better competition.
Better two skill guys that you're going to see in that division, and I think the winner should get the right to fight Tank. The two highly skilled guys. Lomachenko is a 3-time, I think, Olympian, or maybe 2-time Olympian. You know what I'm saying? Gold medalist and stuff like that. So his first professional fight was for a title. He lost, but he came back and took it from Gary Russell Jr. So he's a Ukraine fighter. Bad.
I think he's more skilled than Haney.
I think he is too, but I think what he does is I don't think he fights well. Like there's a box, like he boxes well. I don't think he bangs well. Like when somebody got some power and they trying to get his ass, I think he going to a shell.
Yeah, he give away rounds. He give away the early part of the fight. When he decided to fight Lopez, by the time he decided to fight Lopez, he had gave away 6 rounds.
That's exactly what I saw.
And he controlled the last 6 rounds of that fight. But he gave away so much, that's why he lost.
I think he's personally waiting to the wrong part of his career to get in there with Devin Haney. I think he should have jumped on Devin Haney when he was much younger. I think Devin is a champion. He's more confident in himself. He's not going to be intimidated by him. And I think he's going to give his ass hell. And that fight is, I think, May 20th. So I'm looking forward to that fight.
Nice. Another good fight. All right.
Before we leave this topic,
go ahead.
Those games that the promoters play, rehydration clause, rematch clause, all the different games they play, the splits, is why big fights don't get made. If Ryan would not have signed that fight, the narrative would have been Ryan is scared of Tank, when it would have been really him trying to do good business. But he stepped up and took the fight, took the rehydration clause, dealt with, all the games that, that were being played. And, he took the fight, made his money, took his loss. But had he turned that fight down, it would have been, he's afraid of Tank. And it really would have been just another fighter not going for the promoter game, just like what I think happened with Spence Crawford. So, that's my take on it. I just don't like all the games. I mean, they're little guys. You're better than him. You're clearly better than him. That's why they picked him. They picked Ryan Garcia to fight Tank because they knew Tank can beat him. Tank was never in danger. Just let the dude weigh where he's going to weigh and beat him.
I'm always interested to see what's the penalty if a person don't make that rehydration clause. What's the penalty? I know, like I mentioned in a previous podcast, Sugar Ray Leonard was going to charge Marvin Hagler $2 million. I don't know what Marvin Hagler's purse was, but he was going to charge him that. So I would have been real interested to know if Ryan Garcia didn't go through with the 12 o'clock rehydration clause, would the fight been over with? Will he be charged like a dollar amount? You know what I'm saying? Like if he wouldn't have been charged, I wouldn't have met the rehydration clause.
I'm pretty sure it was some millions involved.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It had to be.
No, I wouldn't. Okay.
I thought, me sitting up here, I'm thinking if you don't hit the rehydration clause, the fight's over. They won't fight. That's what I was thinking. But that makes sense to have some sort of penalty to do that. But yeah, I get you.
I mean, they say that, but shit, like you really gonna be forced to fight. All these people who came and paid and shit, they're not trying to hear once we had the official weigh in the day before, they're not trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And I can't remember off the top of my head. I know somebody didn't make their rehydration clause, and I can't think of that. Who was that fighter that did that? And the fight went on,
No, I want to be clear. I don't think he had a chance had he, if he would have not, made it. I think he still would have got beat. But I just think that makes it a more fair fight, in my opinion.
I agree. I hear you.
Yeah, because that's just like that's what made champions champions. You beat whoever come in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always been games played. Like
Yeah.
it's always been.
I'm
Go ahead.
gonna keep it real with y'all. All this is about Floyd get back at Oscar. That's all this is about. This is Floyd getting back at Oscar for making Oscar for what Oscar did to him. You know, like Oscar drained himself to fight Manny Pacquiao at 147. And he had the titles at 147 and 154. He wouldn't give Floyd that fight at 154. It made him, try to come up. At 147, it made Floyd come up. So this is Floyd way of paying his ass back by saying my fighter can beat your fighter, and I'm gonna put a catch weight there on his ass, and I'm gonna put a rehydration clause on his ass. So what really happened was that Floyd and Gervonta made it seem like they were no longer in partnership. So at this time, I think Golden Boy thought was the right time to go against Tank because Mayweather was not present during the Rolly Ramir fight. When Tank fought Rolly, Floyd wasn't there. So it made it look like as if Tank was on his own and Leonard Ellerby was just running everything and stuff. So when it came down to them signing all them contracts, when it came down to the actual weigh-in, guess who showed up? Floyd was there. So now they understand that they've been slipped. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to the press conference, Oscar didn't show up because he knew he'd been duped. It was just
That's
payback.
gay, man.
You're giving too much credit to Floyd. Floyd is Al. That's Al Heyman's show. Floyd is just a spokesperson. He gets a cut.
Man. Pretty smart to me, man. Well, this concludes, fellas. This concludes this episode. I just wanted to get together and talk boxing, weight classes, and the Gervonta Tank Davis fight with Ryan Garcia. Once again, that was an amazing fight. I really look forward to young guys getting in the ring and not waiting till they 60 years old to fight. I commend those guys under 30 years old, and they made that money like that. And they put on a good show, sold out Vegas, good celebrities out there, and so. This concludes this episode, which is episode number 5. Is boxing fake or is it real? This is Pod Deep on Sports signing off until we see y'all again in episode 6. Peace.
Peace out.